everybody. Welcome to the Soulful Soul. My name is Gladys, and today I wanted to do a special reading for you focused on the energies of the lunar eclipse. So we've just come out of the lunar eclipse, but it is said that the energies of the lunar eclipse last 6 months. And I was thinking about what the lunar eclipse could stand for me, making meaning of an eclipse, and in this case, the shadow of the earth crosses the moon. And to me, it's like an eye blink. And, you know, we blink our eyes when we need to clear the dust out of them. They give us the chance to change something that we need to change, or to focus on some aspect of our lives in a more meaningful way, you know, in a more focused way. So that's the idea behind this reading. So I will do a general I will look at what your theme is, and then I'll take it from there. I will just see as the cards come. It will be a shortish reading. Okay, and I hope this helps you. Please do give me feedback. And yeah, you'll see, you can make it, oh gosh, look at me. So your choices are between, group 1 is Hemlock. Hemlock. And you have this beautiful happy yo-yo guiding you, so you can choose whichever. Group 2 is Marigold, and you have this Rubik's Cube. Group 3 is St. John's Wort, and you have this black transformer creature toy, the head of a transformer. And group 4 is Pachamama, and you have this little birdie. Look at the little feet. Super cute. So make your choices. A riddle, fun, ups and downs of life, something to put together, something to build, or cuteness and lightness and fluffiness. But choose from the cards. Let me put them up so you can see them nice. Just be quick, they don't get burned. There you go, everyone, make your choices. So welcome back, group 1. You've chosen this really happy chappy, this yo-yo, and your card is Hemlock, and it's the Emperor. So I feel like your next 6 months, your focus is on building stability. And that could be in a family, it could be within, internally, it could be financially. And I would say with the yo-yo as your choice, you know, the yo-yo goes up and down, but it always comes back up, right? Well, if you're good at yo-yoing. But I think the point is that this yo-yo is a smiling yo-yo. So it's like your willingness to build stability in an open way, in a free way, in a happy way, to be able to ride the roller coaster of life, which it is, which I don't think is a portent, by the way. I don't think that's saying that's what it's going to be like. It's just a reminder that even as you're building stability, to be playful, to see everything as a part of the flow, part of the journey, and the joy of the journey. But let's see what messages Spirit has for you, beloved. So yeah, you get the Daughter of Discs, which is a page of coins, and in the upright. And it's like the daughter's magicking something, using her power to step out into a new journey, a financial new journey, something that might be, well, indications are that it's lucrative. So I think as guidance, so let's leave that there. Let's see. The 6 of Swords, the which is, look at it here, it's about, these people are flying, but they're staying balanced through cooperation. Very interesting. It's really lovely. And the Six of Swords is generally about moving from one, so there's something about you, of something about movement and cooperation for you, I think. But let's see. Let's get one for what's working, what could work against you, what you just need to be aware of. Temperance. Or what's working for you. I think there's a strong theme of balance for you. In particular, Six of Cups. I think there is a strong element of family stuff here. Let me get clarifiers for the other cards. So your theme is building stability, I think, is your theme. And I think that your theme, the way you are building stability is firstly being open to all possibilities, one. Two, believing in your own ability to create, because the pages are the beginnings of a journey, and the Page of Coins is that journey of creating abundance or stability. In your case, I think it's about stability. And I think it is about financial stability. But I think key to your journey is this working together, working in cooperation. So perhaps that's something you've been wondering about. Should I, shouldn't I? Maybe go into a venture or work together with people or whatever. And I think that your theme is about that. You get what you need to think about is the Ten of Cups and strength in the reverse. There's a lot here about balance. So I think what you're dealing with, your theme for the next few months, your big thing is balance. What does balance mean? And it's both creating balance on the physical plane as well as balance internally. You know, that whole ego thing, when to act and when to be. Gosh, what a lovely theme, actually. I'm just thinking about it with the yo-yo there. Is, you know, the yo-yo goes up and down, but it also goes backwards and forwards. I can't remember what that one is called. But it's that idea of the almost like the figure of 8, which is there. And it's about being and doing. When is it time to do and when is it time to be? I think that's a big thing for you. That's what your balance is about in creating your stability. And I think you need to be thinking about, perhaps that's something you've struggled with. It's not knowing when to act and when to allow. You know, life is not just about creating, it's about resting. The rest feeds the creation, and the creation honors the rest in a way. It gives back to, it makes the rest even more restful, more, you know, once when you finish the big project and you just let go, the feeling is quite beautiful, right? It makes that rest even more meaningful. So I think you need to be thinking about, what is the Ten of Cups for you? What is total happiness, absolute happiness? That's your theme, beloved group 1. what is, well, there's a number of things, but I think they're all related. Like stability makes us happy, you know, and for different people, stability means different things. For some, it means having a loving partner or partners. For others, having a home. For others, having money, but to be able to do the things that you need and want to do, and to be able to share with those who love you and maybe even depend on you. And maybe that's also what the Six of Swords is about. And you got the Six of Cups, the reverse. There's something, I think, a strong thing about family here. But take from this what works for you, what makes sense for you. I think that your themes are about stability and you, in the process, figuring out what makes you happy. What is your happy place in terms of stability, as I was talking about now, you know? And then in your, what could work against you is again this thing about balance. And you have Temperance in the upright and you have the Hanged Man in reverse. I think that your challenge is going to be looking at different perspectives. And, you know, it maybe that's, look at that, they are up in the air and that does give them a different perspective. And I think that your perspective is constantly going to be how others fit in. You know, the Ten of Cups there in reverse as well. How do other people fit into my life? It's very interesting. And so your challenge might be, your theme is balance and your challenge is going to be balance. It makes sense. And I guess with the Hanged Man, there's just a reminder that your balance comes to looking at things from a whole range of perspectives. What's beneath the surface, maybe that you can't see, is the Son of Swords, and that's the Knight of Swords. This knight has the eye firmly on the prize. And in the process, they have broken, they have, do you know what I'm seeing with this knight is maybe you need to hold your horses a little bit. Maybe you tend to rush. And in the process, harm others. You know, collateral damage is what I'm thinking about there. You know, like you can still get to that pot of gold, but you can do it in a constructive way. That's your message, group one. You know, like there's no judgment. It's like we all have different ways of approaching things, and that I think maybe just you might be so gung-ho about stuff, getting things done, that sometimes you might not realize even that you unnecessarily cut down a rose bush, you know. And with the Chariot there in reverse, I think that's the unconscious things that I think you maybe battle about. Again, sorry, if you think about it, that's balance. That one's about balance. I spoke about balance with the Emperor, and the Temperance is the card of balance. So there's definitely that lesson for you in the next 6 months, I feel, about just playing with balance. And you'll get advice cards as well. So you get what's working for you. What's in your favor is the King of Swords in reverse and the Fool. To bite your tongue, maybe you've got a sharp tongue. I think you've got a strong lesson about working in cooperation with others and consideration for others, you know. Sometimes I think our journeys lead us to be solitary and to be more self-centered. And in others, it is about that collaboration. And you know, I need to clarify my self-full thing, because for me, self-fullness can be, as long as we are self-aware, we know when we are needing to be more working in collaboration and when we need to be solitary. And in your case, I think that firstly, you get the Fool. Your fearlessness maybe is your biggest asset. You're willing to take risks with an offer comes along, which the page of points can speak about. You're willing to take that chance on maybe that group that wants to work with you, whatever the case might be in this project that involves group work. And you also have this sharp intellect. But I guess that you need to use it wisely would be the guidance for you. So let's see what advice we get working for you. Well, you know, the King of Swords can be sharp-tongued, so maybe what's working for you is your bravery, your willingness to take risks, and also your ability to know when to speak and when not to speak, when to hold your tongue and when to speak out. When the King of Swords is the communication, the king of communication and of no nonsense. So you can think about that. Your advice. You get the 6 of Wands and the 9 of Wands. So I think that Knight of Swords, looking at that gold, that treasure there, keep your eye on that, because the advice talks about victory. I think that your guidance is to see victory, to see your victories, to celebrate your victories, and to acknowledge them and not see only the negative. So these are all your accomplishments, and I think you need to be celebrating them. And that's your guidance. So let me think about the bigger picture here, group 1. So I feel like you are building stability. That's your key theme for the next 6 months, building stability. But your lesson in the next 6 months is how you go about doing that. Building stability with balance. Building stability and finding balance. That's the key theme of this for you. So, and I think yes, like I say, it's about how you go about doing that. And I think your key advice maybe is in collaboration, is in knowing when to do and when to be. When have you worked too hard and need a rest? When do you need to take a break? When do you need to look at things from a different perspective? In fact, the advice is all around there. And to keep your eye on the prize, because even though you don't know, maybe, and what could work against the collaborative ways is you not being aware of your effects, the effects your behavior has on others. Because your general theme is about collaboration, you know, building stability, finding balance while building that stability, knowing when to do, when to be. But there's an underlying issue of working in collaboration. And it could be that you are responsible for more people, or you live in a community with other people, you're part of the family. And I guess to think about the consequences of your actions, others, and then celebrate your victories, celebrate your achievements, I think will be key. And I think that's part of that message of knowing when to rest and when to act, when to be, when to do. Okay, group 1, I hope that helps. I think that's a really fascinating journey. And yeah, please share your feedback. I'd love to hear how this reading works for you, how it applies. And give me a like if you like, and please share with others who might get benefit from this. Okay, group 1, I will be having my weekly pick a card reading in the next few days. But for now, I hope this helps. I'll chat with you again soon. Bye. Welcome back, group 2. You chose the Rubik's Cube. And your card is Death. And you have Marigold. Your plant is the Marigold, and your card is Death. But look at a beautiful Death. Marigold is representing a wreath there. And then you get the Rubik's Cube. So what is the Rubik's Cube? The Rubik's Cube is like conundrum and puzzle. And perhaps you are a kind of person that enjoys that challenge of the puzzle, something mysterious. But your theme for the next 6 months, I think, is about letting go, knowing when something needs to end. But let's see what the guidance is. Oh, gosh. And this, I'm explaining that because there are such similarities with group one. And this is a card beneath the deck, which was group one, central card, the Page of Coins. Wow, really, really interesting. But let's see. Let me get your page. Get the Two of Cups in reverse. So there are similarities with group one, but let's see what's your new margins. So you've got this dilemma almost. Should I, shouldn't I? And maybe it's related to this big card. Should I move forward? Should I stay where I am? Because you get the Chariot twice as your central theme. I think you're very torn about something. Should I, shouldn't I kind of thing. Let's see, what you need to think about is Shaman of Cups. That is the King of Cups in the traditional tarot. And even there, it's sideways. It's like, should I, shouldn't I? And you get the Devil in reverse. Wow. It could be a relationship. It could be that the next 6 months is crucial. You will be dealing with endings in some kind of key relationship. Now, endings can be the end of a hard time in that relationship, the end of addiction, the end of game playing, because I'm seeing the King of Cups here tilted. It's like the girl with the car. When she was good, she was very, very good. When she was bad, she was followed. My brother used to call me the girl with the car, by the way. I think I've mentioned that before. So the thing with the King of Cups is that they can play games. The thing with the Devil in reverse is that they can play games. Addiction, playing games, manipulation. So that's what you need to think about. And maybe that's where the death comes in. I feel this might be a relationship. Yes, especially with that Page of Cups, Ace of Cups in the reverse. You get the 10 of Cups, and what I said to group one was you need to be thinking about what does happiness mean for you. And maybe that's the same. This is what could be working against you, by the way. So, and you get the 5 of Wands. So, competition and fighting around you. I think that your challenge will be thinking about what makes you happy and working towards that instead of this fighting energy. That's your big challenge. That's what could work against you, is staying stuck in actions and behaviors that keep you unhappy. So I think you need to be, for the next few months, exploring what is it that makes me happy. Does this behavior that I do does it have a good consequence for me? And as a result, those around me, and as a result, for me, you know. And then you get the same card as group 1 in your what's working for you. And it's this, you might not see it, but this bravery, this willingness to trust in something higher, or trusting guidance, trusting your ability to make it. This fool is willing to dive into the water. There's a crocodile there, there's a tiger, there's a vulture waiting, but they are trusting. Maybe they are too excited about the shrooms there, but you know, like who's judging that? You know what's so cute about this fool? Their backpack, their little thing is being carried in their toes, their luggage. Like, I'm doing things differently. So there's this energy of fearlessness, or not even fearlessness, trust. You're willing to trust when something is offered, when you see something, being willing to go there. With the 7 of Rods, I want to get a clarified with the 7 of Rods, because this is what's working for you. 7 of Rods, you know, it normally talks about standing up for yourself. You get it in the reverse. So I would say there's something about you having been locked in some kind of cycle where there's always this tension or fighting or game playing. And perhaps what's working would work for you is to think about stopping that. And then you have the 3 of Coins in the reverse, what's going on beneath the surface, and the Ace of Cups also in the reverse. So it could be a love relationship or something that you are very emotionally attached to. And in the reverse, this is in the unconscious of what's going on beneath the surface, is that I think there's a lack of cooperation in this relationship or this way of relating. You know, group 1 also got this strong theme about cooperation. Let's see. Yeah, I think that instead of cooperation, there's been game playing. You need to think about that. Who's been playing games? Have you been playing games? How can you change that? I think your guidance is about trusting. Looking within, thinking about what it is that makes you happy, and then asking yourself, do these games that I play or we play or whoever's playing, do they make me happy? And then what is an alternative? And then trusting whatever the alternative is that is shown to you. And I think it's requiring that you let down your defenses. So I'm going to get a clarifier for there and for the Ace of Pentacles, and then advice. Although I think the advice fits there. So that, the Empress, and the advice you get, the Magician. And so, so definitely there's a lack of honoring of the feminine in this particular relationship. It could be a work relationship. So definitely something has to die there, something has to change. And because this Empress is not being honored, that could be you, it could be the relationship, the business, it could be spirit not being honored because of the games that are played. And yeah, it's a bit heavy group too, but I think that here's your opportunity to do things differently. Knowing whether to go or stay. I think perhaps your knowing whether to move, when or whether to move. First, there's this need to unravel the puzzle. And I think that unraveling the puzzle comes with going within and looking at habits, addictions, and addictions could be to a behavior, you know, like we get caught in cycles, certain people or things trigger certain actions, and so we get caught up in them. I think it's time for you to confront those because you are stuck right now, and maybe you need to be stuck right now before the death can happen. And the death is not a negative thing. Death just allows new growth, you know. So that's what I'm getting, and I think that the bad habit or this negative habit, let's not call it bad, it's negative in that it impacts on you negatively, is about fighting. It's almost like a cycle that's not ending because there's constant fighting. And it's almost like you need to deal with it first before you can move on, and the death can happen. The death can be a constructive thing, it can be something completely changes in a relationship or in a workshop or in a partnership of some sort, because you've done the internal work, you've chosen to go in and confront that. Because there's a lack of cooperation for sure, and something is not being honored, either this relationship, this workshop, you, the other person, or people, or something is not being honored as it should be. Something is the Empress, but it's being treated like it's nothing. It's of no value. So that's something you can think about for your hearts. And then you get, as advice, the Tower and the Magician. They're both in the reverse, but I don't think that matters. So I think that your advice is, I'm taking this in the reverse, right? Because I feel like the advice that makes sense to me, the advice that fits, is that it's not yet time for this, whatever this thing is, to crumble. I think it comes back to there are lessons to be learned first before movement forward, before this death can happen, whatever that death is, before you can take the actions of the Magician and the Fool and take your leap of faith. And even staying and doing this inner work is an acknowledgement of your bravery, that willing to do the internal work. Let me see. Okay. Here's what I'm getting. It seems like I don't want to give the impression that you're stuck in this. I think that the next 6 months is about you learning the lessons and then being able to allow the structure to fall, and so that you can rebuild. So in other words, allowing a change, a complete change of the relationship, the circumstance, this relating thing, and start something completely new, or rebuild this relationship or whatever it is on a new foundation with new principles, new values, and honoring of the Empress. And that Empress is you, and it can be another, and it can be this whole entity, whatever it is, if it's a family or a group or a project that's not being honored. And if it's you, trust that I really feel like there's this energy of being stuck, and that's okay. It's like you first have to unravel this puzzle, and the only person you can unravel is you, right? So, and that doesn't mean putting up with shit. It's about you going in and doing that work. We're not stuck in an unhealthy habit. That could be allowing someone to treat you in a certain way. It could be you behaving in a certain way that triggers another response, whatever. I think you know, and but something is not behaving like that. And so that internal work helps them to the next step, which is completely ending a relationship or ending an aspect of a relationship so that something new can emerge, something new and beautiful, whether it's leaving, starting something new, or leaving, or rebuilding. Okay, I'm sorry, all the words. I just wanted to make it clear that, you know, there can be different circumstances for different people. And yeah, you know, with the magician, the advice is to trust that when the time is ready to fall, it will fall, and that you will be ready to move forward, like on your chariot. You will have the power to make whatever needs to happen to you, whether it's rebuilding or building something else, starting new. I'm going to leave it there for you too. I hope that helps. And I hope you can see your situation and that the next 6 months helps you in, that this helps you in the next 6 months to change something, shift something. Okay, beloved group 2, I hope that helps. Please share your feedback. I'd love to hear how this reading sat with you and let other people know. And I will chat with you again soon. Bye. Welcome back, group 3. You chose this transformer dude, quite scary looking. But you have the sun as your card and St. John's Wort, which I think is a relaxer, right? Helps you relax. So maybe you are coming into a time of sun and or being guided to play a little bit more as your way of relaxing and bringing the sun in. So let's see. 9 of Wands in the center. Chariot, lots of repetitions. First, see what happens. The central issue is the theme of honoring your achievements. That's your thing for the next 9 months or 6 months. Honoring your achievements. I think what could work against you is the 10 of Swords. A 10 of Swords, here, people being thrown into the ocean. But the 10 of Swords is about endings. So what your challenge is to know when to let go. That's your challenge. What's working for you is the strength card, and it is in reverse. And I guess, what it's saying is letting go of ego games. That's what you need to think about. You know, you get the sun there and the strength, both cards of Leo, but more the way I see them as game playing or at least the strength card in reverse is being willing to let go of some kind of game playing ego games, you know, like winner take all attitudes. What you need to think about, 9 of Cups, is again, this thing is for everyone. What makes you happy? I'll just leave it there because that's powerful as it is. And what's beneath the surface is the Chariot in reverse. Something stagnant, something that you can't see is stagnation. It's like you are maybe afraid to move forward. Maybe you get stuck being afraid to move forward because you can't see the sun. Something like that. Let's get. You know, you get the 10 of Cups beneath the deck. It's that everyone got this 10 of Cups. Gosh. I shuffle my cards. I do a whole thing where there's no way all the cups can be together. So my think that you are really maybe dealing with love, which kind of surprises me because I didn't see it in the image of card. So there you go again, honoring yourself. I think that your journey for the next 6 months is about honoring the feminine in you, really honoring that, the creative aspect, what you've achieved, while celebrating you. That's really lovely. Please, that's your guidance. Look how comfortable she is in her body, and all the fiery energy, all her creations, her creative ability. And then you have the Queen of Cups, this is loving, beautiful, nurturing energy, and I think you are pouring that energy in. That's your 6 months. 6 months. What could challenge you is the Ten of Swords, is you know what I think it is with 7 of Cups here, is not being able to let go. You know, it's about practicing, it's about discernment, it's knowing what to let go of and what to hold on to. I think that's going to be your challenge in the next 6 months, is to be so self-loving and knowing when something doesn't serve you and when it does, what's good for you. And then with your what's working for you. Okay, so you get this lovely card of strength, and that I spoke about ego and ego games and stuff like that. But working for you is that knowledge of when you are behaving in a winner-take-all way, and a reminder to them to slow down. I think that what's working for you is a slow and steady pace forward, slow and steady, and to keep acknowledging your achievements. If you don't see them, you know, to just go back and look, oh, this is what I've done, this is what I've done, you know. And then with the 9 of Cups, or what you need to think about, the 5 of Cups and the 9 of Cups, are saying about what makes you happy. You need to think about happiness. And I think that your happiness lies in your, back to the discernment, right? What fills me and what needs to be let go of. When do I, which is the ego thing, look at the things that don't serve me? Or when do I wallow? When do I feel self-pity when I have so much working for me? That's one way of looking at it. Or when do I look at the things that didn't work instead of the things that work? So that's a strong theme for you, Group 3. It's honoring this in you, you know. That's really lovely. Honoring your achievements. And that requires you looking at them and being honest about them and not looking at only the negative. And what's beneath the surface is this chariot, in the reverse is it means that, wow, you get the 9 of Cups, what you need to think about and what's beneath the surface. Wow. I think it's going to be a powerful time of you uncovering your happiness, what makes you happy, and owning that. Really owning that. I think that you're going to have another, the 6 months is about this internal looking within, self-growth, owning your happiness, and honoring yourself, you know, like being willing to fill your own cup. Really lovely. Oh, and I spoke about what's working for you. Let me get advice. Really nice. powerful cards here. And this is not a tarot card, it's just one of the extra cards. So I keep them in. It says all believers, and you get the Emperor, and you get the King of Coins. It's almost like you, okay, as advice is believing in yourself, believing in your ability to be the King of Pentacles, as in create your own stability. And Empress echoing that is creating your own stability. Believe in your ability to do that. All believers believe in their ability. Strong thing for you is believing in that ability. The sun is also about strength, and it's about sun, it's about joy, it's about clarity. You know, and I want to come back to this thing. This transformer you build, right? And they transform. They can be two different things. It's an interesting one. And okay, so I'm seeing then that your ability to honor yourself is the thing that is building your stability. Your theme for the next 6 months is that absolute and utter self, unconditional love for the self. I think that's so beautiful. Yeah. And because of that, and your advice is believing in your ability to create your own stability. Really lovely, and they go hand in hand. And I guess that's also what I was saying, the two parts is that feminine nature and that masculine. It's like feeding the feminine nature, honoring yourself, the self-care, self-love is the thing that makes you see your ability to create. And honoring yourself and seeing your ability to create helps you be more, anchor yourself more, create your stability. Okay, good too. I'll leave it there. I hope that helps you, and I wish you, I wish you all the best with this endeavor of yours, this working. And I will have the weekly pick a card on Sunday or Monday, but for now, I hope this helps, and please share with others and like and comment. I'd love to hear how this fits for you. Okay, beloveds, I'll chat with you again soon. Bye. Welcome back, group 4. You have the world, Pachamama, the world, and you have the little chicken. So the world is about something completed, something that's come to an end, has resolved, that's completed. You've completed a cycle effectively, and you've maybe birthed a little chicken. Let's see what the cards say. So two for you. Simple card is the 7 of Coins and the 5 of Cups. And beneath the deck, you have the 5 of Wands. Let's see. So, 7 of Coins, 5 of Cups. Something is requiring patience. I think you are requiring patience with yourself, especially with how you view things. Like you see the glass half full instead of half empty instead of half full. But there's something around that. And something made me think that perhaps you haven't closed the cycle, but I think the next 6 months is about closing the cycle. You get the Empress in reverse and the High Priestess, very powerful feminine energy. what you need to think about is looking at things from a different perspective. I'm going to get clarifieds and we'll talk more about what that is. And I think it's related to this being patient, maybe around your own attitudes. In what you, the challenge for you is sneaky behavior. Let's see, that's a challenge for you. It's being aware of sneaky behavior, even your own, where you might play games. What's beneath the surface is this high priestess energy. Beautiful. So I think that there's some wisdom that you are learning in the process of this completion. There's something that is being revealed to you. So maybe you're doing deep inner work. Perhaps your hangman, which is opposite your, yes. So your hangman, I think that you must work a lot with the hangman in the next 6 months. And in the process, you will find some kind of answer that you've been seeking. Let's see. What's working for you is the Empress. The Empress in reverse. Check her out. He knows there's an Empress. So perhaps that's what you, I mean, it's in reverse. What you need to be thinking about is seeing yourself as an Empress. And if you saw yourself as an Empress, how would you treat yourself? So, your central theme, yes, impatience. Impatience with yourself. Impatience about something, right? Because you get the Knight of Swords in reverse, wanting to charge in. It's related to this cup half full or half empty, not being able to see the standing cups. So maybe you have a tendency to plant something and then you want it to go immediately, you rush. So maybe your thing is about taking things slowly. And you know, the hangman is also that challenge of just allowing things to fall where they will or reveal themselves when they're ready. The hangman has to be stuck there for a while. But in that time of being stuck, they see things from a different perspective. So I think you need to allow this, be patient, allow, because something is going to be revealed to you. And I think that something is related to what is right for you, what this ending, this completion should be. Because the Seven of Cups is like all that glitters isn't gold. It's some of this is good for me, some isn't. In fact, maybe the one is good for me. So I think you are, that's what you are doing. And I feel like at the end of the 6 months, you will have this completion because you've allowed yourself to be suspended. You've allowed yourself to look at things from a different perspective and be guided. You know? What's your challenge is this Nine of Swords in reverse. Being stuck in your head, beloved. Worrying, maybe playing games, head games with yourself and with others. I think maybe that's what you will be confronting. And it's so related. The Seven of Swords and the Seven of Coins, it's so related to you maybe learning to take it easy. I think you are learning patience in the 6 months. You are being forced to be patient about something. And it seems to be a theme. And then with the High Priestess, that's what's beneath the surface is wisdom. I think that is so linked to the Ten of Rods is about just resting and seeing, allowing, seeing things from a different perspective. Like instead of carrying these burdens, again to the Nine of Swords, these burdens, these games, everything going around and down in the head, and I must do this, I must do that. You are learning to chill, or that is your guidance. You need to think about learning to relax, let go, see things from a different perspective. Allow what's not moving. It's not moving for a reason. It's not time. You know, there's something you still are working on. And I think it's very much to do with this Five of Cups. Is something you looking at the cups that have spilled and not at what is standing. So there's something you're not seeing that is present and working for you. And really, and then what's working for you is this Empress and the Knight of Rods. And the Knight of, okay, let me just take them like this, right? It goes back to what I said earlier. How would you treat yourself? You're the Knight of Rods, infatuated with the Empress. How would you treat yourself if you were absolutely head over heels in love with you? Advice. Although I think that the strong advice for you is this. I feel like that's the key thing for you, for that being with the Hangman and being okay being with the Hangman. And wouldn't you know it, you get the World card. So I think that your theme is about trust. Really, your theme is about trust and about seeing things from a different perspective. And I think that perspective has to do with, do you see things negatively, or do you tend to look at things negatively? Do you want to rush? Do you want things to happen now? Is that being trusting, letting go, and this treating yourself like you are the world? There's another similar card to the Empress, and then you get another, like the page offering to the Empress. It's like trusting, looking at things from a different perspective, and then allowing this transformation, this completion of whatever you are doing to happen. But it happens from a place of having been willing to be suspended, be the Hangman, look at things from a different perspective, and keep on doing that. That this wisdom is offered up, this knowledge, there's something that you need to know is offered to you. That's what I'm seeing. It's almost like this is not advice. It's almost like saying the advice is in there, and that's where it's leading to this completion, some completion, and maybe a new beginning related to abundance. Okay, group 4, I hope that helps you. Please let me know how this read for you, and tell others about it. If you like the way I read, share with others, and share your comments. And I will do your weekly reading as usual. But I hope this helps you for the next over the next 6 months. Lots of love to you, group 4. Bye.